Curious about what the market's doing? I get asked every day, what's the market doing? This is a market madness, monthly market madness. I haven't done one for quite a few months, and it's time. So, monthly market madness is simply where I get an opportunity to tell you what's going on in the market. What are the numbers saying? The numbers in real estate tell a story. They tell a very specific story. Are we in a buyer's market, a seller's market? What can I expect if I put my house on the market? What can I expect if I'm a buyer? I'm going to go through all of that. So stick with me, okay? The first thing I want to cover is, yes, I do have to wear these glasses now when I want to see. It's a bummer, but it's life. Okay, in August, our stats from August just came out. And at the end of August, we had 346 homes on the market. That's a lot. I don't remember many times in the last couple of years where we had that many active homes. Ending in August, there had been 165 new listings, and there were 97 homes that sold in the month of August. The average listing price for Yakima homes, now we're talking stick built, we're not talking condos, we're not talking manufacturer, is $415, and the average sold price was $370,000. And if you look at this chart, wow, you really can't see it here, but this orange line, which is the sold median list price, it's been up and down and all around all year long. It's the lowest it's been was in December of last year, and actually the highest it was October of last year. So interesting to note. Absorption rate, that's the number of homes that are on the market total, how many months of inventory we have. The total absorption rate for Yakima homes in August was 3.63 months of inventory. Now I'm going to tell you a little story in a second that's going to really turn that on its head. We had sold to list ratio. That means if you put a house on the market, what was the average sale price versus the listing price? And that was 98%, friends. So we still were seeing houses with multiple offers. We still were seeing houses that were going for over asking, but not by much. And there still are definitely some houses that had to drop in price. And we're going to see that in our higher priced homes when I talk about that in a second. Average days on market, 72. And that's actually, for the year, that's about 6 months. 6 months have been higher and 6 months have been the same or lower. So very interesting when you look at that, when you look at those overall numbers in Yakima. But really what it boils down to is we have to start talking about what are different price ranges doing, because that's where it gets important. It doesn't matter if the average home, if there's 346 homes on the market and that equals 3.63 months of inventory, if you have a house to sell that's priced at $700,000. So I want to talk to you about some of those individual prices. First, some interesting stats. People always like to see and hear about nice, expensive houses. So the most expensive house on the market currently at this time is $2.250 million. It's only been on the market for a few days, and it's actually a Natchez address, my alma mater. So love a Natchez address. Here's where it gets interesting though when we're talking about multi or $1 million and up properties. 26 homes on the market right now are over $1 million, 26. But here's the thing, only 13 have sold in 2025. So in 8 months, we've sold 13. That's basically one a month, right? That means if we didn't take another $1 million property on the market, if we didn't accept another one, if nothing else hit the market, we have 2 months of inventory of $1 million properties. You have $1 million property you want to sell or you're trying to sell, you better be ready to do some serious soul searching on that price. And make sure if you're in a situation where you have to sell and sell fast, you better be very competitive with that price, because there's a lot of inventory out there. You also better make sure that that house is in $1 million state, $1 million plus state. if you need a new roof and you know it, do not list your home without giving the discount or the price off for what it's going to take for someone to put a new roof on when they buy it, because they're going to find out when they have that inspection, and then you're not going to get that high price. So be reasonable. You have a lot of inventory right now. You've got a lot of competition. You have to be reasonable with this. So let's move down to 500 to 750, because that's really where it feels like we've had the most amount of inventory over the last year and a half. So we have 84 active homes in that price range right now, 84. Since the first of the year, 8 months, we've sold 147. And that's an average of about 18.3 a month, right? I mean, I'm no good at math, like I said, but I do have a calculator here. So that means we have 5 months of inventory. When we get to 6 months of inventory and up, usually we say that's a buyer's market. I'd say 4 to 5 months of inventory in Yakima is a pretty normal market, and under 3 months of inventory is a seller's market. So I'm going to go ahead and say that right now, in that price range of 500 to 750, it is very competitive, and it is a pretty normal market, but it is leaning towards a buyer's market. Now, another place we have a true buyer's market is that 750 to 1 million. And there we have 8.2 months of inventory. So the story right here as it pertains to housing prices is that anything that's 750 and up in the Yakima market is a buyer's market. And you better be prepared for some price drops or some reasonable pricing or doing some things to your house that maybe you weren't anticipating. It doesn't mean you're going to go backwards. It doesn't mean that housing prices are going in the toilet. You have equity. Did you know that over 50% of homeowners in the country right now either own their home outright or they have over 50% equity? You're probably one of them if you're in that price range. So you got to be reasonable. You got to be willing to negotiate. Okay. If you are a buyer going in that price range, you're not going to, they're not going to give their house away. Let's not be rude. Let's not do that. Let's not insult, but let's really think about what we're offering and what we're asking for in that offer. Okay. Now I want to talk briefly about interest rates, because here's something that's very interesting. The average on this day, September 2nd, in 2023, 2 years ago, was 7.75%. The average last year, interest rate 30-year fixed, was 6.35%. And the average 30-year fixed today in 2025 is 6.59. Again, averaging out the median over the last 2 years, the median interest rate over the last 2 years, 7%. Okay, so don't even worry about what you think the interest rates are going to do. Not only is 7% in the 30 to 40 year average, it is the average for the last 30 to 40 years, but it's probably not going to be in the low fives, and it's certainly not going to be in the low fours, and there's no way that we're going to get into the threes. God forbid something terrible, terrible, terrible happens. So let's talk about where you want to be this time next year. Do you need to upsize? Do you need to downsize? If you have equity in your home, let's talk about it. And if you're worried about breaking up with your 3% or lower interest rate, let me know immediately, because I have a fantastic report. It's going to tell you exactly what you need to do to break up with that interest rate and get into the home that you would prefer to be in. Because I know a lot of you bought in 2020 and 2021, and you found it's not your forever home, but you're afraid to leave it. I've got a report for you. I can help you with that. So reach out to me right away. You can visit my Stan store. That's Stan, STAN.store, STORE / Amy Maib. And you can ask for my special report. You need to put in the code FAIR, FAIR. Lots of stuff on my Stan store. I hope you check it out. And if you just want to call, text, email, Facebook, Instagram, whatever me. Just don't fax me, okay? My number, 509-406-2128. Hope you're having a great day. Bye.